We're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're good.
All right. So like what I was getting back to is what takes it over the top for me and Jordan. I kind of lost my train of thought, but it was
His
well,
defense.
yeah, his defense is just it's just I don't know. It's just something about Jordan and like you said, the mystique about him. It's just the man was like if you want to talk about if no player is perfect this and that, but the closest thing to perfect, not just accolade wise, but who you want to be like, who you're chasing, who every player dreams of being and having a just a brand alone. You know what I mean? Explode like his did just right out the gate is Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? Like to look at him, LeBron, it's different eras with the defense back then. Like Jordan had to take punishment. Punishment. I'm not saying
And he'll
LeBron
want to
doesn't
guard
take
your best
punishment.
player too.
Yeah, he doesn't. I'm not saying he doesn't. He LeBron James doesn't take punishment. He does. You watch the replays on stuff. Dudes are dragging on his back. He's still taking him to the rim. But the fact is, like Jordan literally had to go through punches to the face.
Oh yeah, especially early. I was gonna say, like the first few years of LeBron's career, you could still hack the out of people going to the basket, but
Yeah.
it died off very quickly.
Like where do you think they came?
I agree
Where do you think they
like
came
I
with the
said,
hand
I
checking
agree
rule?
with you that Jordan's the GOAT, and you're right. It's tough to beat. One, it's tough to beat the perfection. Two, Jordan just had a certain swagger about him that's why his brand exploded like it did. Like you were just drawn to Jordan.
Yep.
As a personality more than you are.
You
I
thought he
think
was. You
people
thought
are
he was
to
from a different
LeBron.
planet. You thought he was from a different planet.
Yep.
You literally thought the guy was from a
Which,
different
like,
planet.
Which these kids think LeBron is now.
No,
No,
yeah, I agree because that's
and
the
he
thing.
is an
Like if
athletic
you
freak,
like
but
like
he's not.
guys our age, like they haven't like they've seen all three of them play, or we're just talking about LeBron and Jordan. They've seen both of them play. You know what I mean throughout the years, and it's a different thing when you see them if it's live on TV or it's live in person. It's a different thing when you see Michael Jordan play. You know what I mean? Like you can see clips, you can see highlights, you can watch replays, but it's just not the same in that moment of crunch time. You know what I mean? Like it's way different. Like you watch LeBron James now, you're like, oh my god, he can't be stopped. This, that, blah 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 blah. But do you think LeBron James really would have lasted an entire season?
No.
Without the technology, going through the punishment of what Jordan did. He's a big boy.
No,
He would,
he's too big to have lasted to have the kind of longevity he had now back then because that's why big guys didn't last that long back then.
yeah, and I feel
You
like
can't
if
take
you're going
that
to
kind of
compare
abuse at that size.
if you're going to compare LeBron, like this is my opinion. If you're going to compare LeBron to anybody, really, you should compare him to Magic Johnson, like a guy that could do the 1 through 5.
I was just about to make that point, bro.
A guy could do 1 through 5, pass. He can't really shoot that well. I mean, LeBron's not really that great of a shooter, but I mean, he can score, he can pass, he can defend, everything like that. You should. I feel like LeBron went to the Lakers to literally say, hey, let's take the spotlight off of Jordan type of thing. Let me start looking towards Magic. You know what I mean?
I don't see that.
His game is based on Magic. See, I always thought everybody that said, "Oh, he's the next Jordan. He's the next Jordan." I was like, I don't know who you're watching, but he doesn't play like Michael. He plays like Magic.
Close. Yeah, he plays like Magic.
I think it's real.
LeBron is one of the few guys who doesn't try and make his game like Jordan. He realized, well, I'm too good on the ball, and I have great court vision. Why would I play like Michael? I could play like Magic and use all of my assets. Where I don't have, I might not be that dagger scorer, but I'll make sure that the ball gets into open hands.
The open hands of a missed shot.
I don't think playing like Jordan is the
no,
thing,
it's
though.
not.
I mean, you don't have to play like him to be the GOAT over him.
No, absolutely not. That's what I'm saying, but that's what LeBron never wanted to model his game after Michael. I mean, maybe in high school he was kind of trying to, but once he got to the pros, he was much more of a Magic Johnson archetype than a Michael Jordan archetype.
Like, I don't understand why they never bring up the comparison of Magic Johnson and LeBron.
Nobody does because he's already past Magic Johnson.
Just because he's
unfortunately.
Do you think he's
on MJ type level?
Do you think he's better than Magic?
all around.
overall. Yeah, he's a
Magic will tell you that.
He's a much better scorer and shooter than Magic Johnson.
Yeah, but LeBron's whole journey to me was
especially now
special.
in his career with the jump shot that LeBron's developed. That's something Magic's
He's a
never
lot better
had.
shooter. Remember too, guys. I remember y'all said earlier about how someone had said earlier about how he had went from he had a team up and stuff like that. But one difference too between LeBron and the other two guys, Kobe and MJ kind of had their duo partner fairly early on. You know what I'm saying? They didn't really have to. Now MJ had to carry a team for a little while before Scotty got there, but it wasn't too long before Scotty got there. I feel like LeBron had to carry a whole load for the better of like 6 seasons.
The entire time of his first run in Cleveland.
Yeah, like
until he left and got one. And,
he had no duo
by going to Miami and getting Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm gonna ask y'all this question too, guys. Think him going to 10 NBA finals? I think LeBron has been to. He went to like 9 straight or something crazy like that. Count that as well when you think about GOATs, or is it just about winning the finals?
You got to win the finals. I feel if you want to be legit the GOAT, you got to win the finals.
I think appearances. For some reason,
appearances are great, but no one remembers the second. No one remembers second place.
For some reason, appearances don't matter for LeBron, but they matter for everybody else.
Like who?
Like it's a great accolade for whoever, Giannis, to make a final, but for LeBron, if he makes a final and doesn't win it, it's a negative.
Yeah, but it's 10. But it's 10. But it's 10.
Finals again.
But
let's hope it again.
It's 10 times. Like all right, yeah, Giannis goes to the finals. That's great. That looks great on his thing because he's never been to a finals. But after a while, if he keeps going to the finals, and he only wins, 3 to 4 out of 10 times he's been there, people are gonna be like, yeah, okay, great.
Well, I think what's starting to happen is Giannis is starting to get hurt by not making it to the finals. Milwaukee's putting together teams that should be, getting through the East, and Giannis is doing all of the work that he needs to do, and then they get a step away and Giannis folds.
What do you mean, Giannis? Giannis ain't doing the work he needs to do. He plays like a bum in the playoffs.
But that's what I'm saying. Giannis folds, so that's going to start looking bad on Giannis's career because he's not even getting that finals. He's not even getting the finals appearance. So yeah, you could contradict and say, well, LeBron made it to 10 and he's only won 5. Like LeBron's 5-5 in the finals, whatever or 4-5, whatever it is.
I just feel like if you want to be the GOAT. You like the GOAT is like it's literally it's the GOAT status is the epitome of perfection, kind of like that. It's the closest thing to perfection. And when you really break it down, yes, accolades, all that stuff, you start breaking down stats, blah blah blah. But then you come to that little nitty gritty row stat that you need: finals appearances, finals wins. A man that's going to the finals and there's no blemishes in the finals to a man that's been there 10 times and has 6 blemishes? 6 mess ups?
My whole thing is, Tay, you made a point earlier and I didn't comment on it. And you said just taking their accolades and putting them into the championship and, just don't look at the stats, don't look at the players, somebody who's just looking at their accolades.
Yeah.
Right? If you do that, is LeBron even top 3 with his accolades?
Like, could you start bringing other people into the account, into the talk?
Yes, because Tim Duncan's 5-0 in the finals. Tim Duncan has a good amount of accolades. Kobe Bryant's 5-1 in the finals with a good amount of accolades. Yeah, LeBron's got accolades, but he's 4-6 in the finals.
If you look, I just told you, if you look at just accolades and not stats, and you've never actually given either any of the guys a watch, so you don't have an eye test to go off of, and you're going off just accolades, just MVPs and finals and defensive players of the year and junk like that, well then out of the 3 we're talking about, it's obviously Michael, And then, yeah, of course you could bring other people in the debate because if you go off just accolades, the greatest of all time is Bill Russell, like I
Correct.
said, because you're going to look and go, well, this dude won 11 championships. How's he not the GOAT?
Mm-hmm.
But Bill Russell played in a watered-down version of the NBA.
I don't know. I don't know if you can say watered-down version.
There was not as many top teams when he played.
Yeah.
And there was not as many top guys.
Yeah, and then, like, all right, let's go back on this too. Like we say Jordan got knocked out of the first round, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But he went up against two teams that basically had starting 5 Hall of Famers. No? Am I wrong or not?
I mean, you're not wrong, but then if you're playing Jordan didn't make the finals because he played this team that had Hall of Famers. I mean, then you could turn around and say the same thing about LeBron. LeBron's only 4-6 because the teams he's lost to in the finals have 5 Hall of Famers going.
Who?
The Golden State Warriors?
San Antonio?
San Antonio
and Golden State.
San Antonio.
But I'm talking about. We're talking about. The whole thing of Rob said. Jordan got knocked out first round, and LeBron carried a team. With a trash team.
Yeah, but
did he go?
When you start going, when you start going and saying,
listen. LeBron was in his career. He had other players around him at those points. That's not an excuse.
Not that Cleveland team.
I'm not talking about the Cleveland team, but
that loss should just be taken off his record because.
But did he play? But did he play? Did he play five full Hall of Famers?
He played 3 Hall of Famers and a Hall of Fame coach who may be the greatest coach of all time.
That's great. The coaches don't play.
The coaches make a difference.
Oh, no,
the coaches make a difference?
Do they? I'm not saying that Boston had 5 Hall of Famers.
Really? Coaches don't make a difference? Because I'm pretty sure if Phil Jackson wasn't in Chicago, I don't know if Jordan would have 6 rings.
I believe he would.
I don't know if he would.
Coaching is a great thing, but you still have a mindset of a player coach because Jordan was still a player coach.
I understand that, but taking Phil Jackson off that team as a coach, I don't know if they win 6. I don't know if there's another coach that can control Michael Jordan, Scottie, and Dennis Rodman for 3 straight.
I don't know,
bro. Not even controlling, but the implement of the triangle offense made Michael Jordan. It made him a champion.
Not only that, what other coach?
It didn't make him a scorer, but it made him a champion.
What other coach?
Yeah, because it taught him that. Look, you could either go for 50 a night and get all the personal accolades, or you can learn to play like a teammate.
So if Phil Jackson didn't coach over the Lakers, do you think they would have won those championships?
No.
They would have won. They would have won probably one. They won a 3-peat.
Okay.
Really? You don't think Shaq and Kobe would have won?
No, because they wouldn't have lasted together for a 3-peat.
They would have won like one time. Jackson, they're not. The two of them aren't going to beat Greg Popovich with Tim Duncan and
David Robinson
and Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker.
So offense wins you the games.
No, defense does too.
Okay.
No, but here's my thing. All right, look, Joe.
Okay.
All right, let's
the triangle offense is the only reason.
No,
wasn't their defense. It was the only reason they won those championships.
No, ready? Hold on.
No. The Lakers won those championships.
It wasn't, but go ahead.
The Bulls. If we're gonna go to the Bulls real quick, look at the 30 for 30 that happened over the summer last year. Jordan came out and said, "I didn't like Phil Jackson because he was taking the ball out of my hands."
Yeah.
Michael Jordan would have went down as the greatest scorer of all time. If Phil Jackson did not walk through the door, he wouldn't have won 6 rings if he was the greatest scorer of all time. Phil Jackson brought the extra level. He brought the extra level to Michael Jordan to make Michael Jordan that dog for 6 rings. Phil Jackson was also the coach.
So Phil Jackson made Michael Jordan the GOAT.
Phil Jackson was also the coach that told Dennis Rodman, "You need a break. Go clear your head. Go do whatever you want in Las Vegas for a week and then come back." You think any other coach is going to let a maniac like Dennis Rodman walk away and expect him to walk back in?
I'm going to ask you. Well, yeah, because he did with the Detroit Pistons. But anyways, I'm gonna ask you. So Phil Jackson made Michael Jordan the GOAT.
Phil Jackson.
The better question is
becoming the GOAT.
Exactly. The better question is, if Phil wasn't there, would he be the GOAT?
Phil Jackson gave Michael Jordan. No, Phil Jackson gave Michael Jordan 6-0 record.
I don't believe that.
He was literally the stepping stool that he needed to get there. Even in the Bulls documentary or whatever, you seen when Doug Collins, I think it was, whoever it was coaching MJ. It wasn't happy, but when Phil got there, he was that stepping stool. He needed Phil, bro. Same with Kobe.
Okay. Let's look at it this way. Let's look at it this way. LeBron James has never got coached by Phil Jackson. He's won championships. He has all these accolades. So who gave the stepping stone for LeBron James?
LeBron made LeBron.
No,
and that's the biggest.
No, that's the biggest difference.
Actually, no. It's not LeBron made LeBron. You want to know what made LeBron stand out and what's changed LeBron's mind? And it's going to sound dumb because people have bashed him for it. LeBron going to Miami and teaming up with Dwayne Wade, who was his best friend. Dwayne Wade,
Eric Spoelstra. If we want to get a coach,
Dwayne Wade and
Eric Spoelstra gave the stepping stone for LeBron.
I was getting to that.
No,
point.
It's not the same.
I was getting to that point. No. It's not even.
Why isn't it?
It's not even so
Why
much.
Isn't it?
It's not even so much Eric Spoelstra. The idea,
it's Dwayne Wade.
It's Dwayne Wade. It's Dwayne Wade who gave him the stepping stone, who taught him it was okay to take the back seat when he wasn't going to be the man that night. Not only that, you had Pat Riley, who was probably in LeBron's ear and in Spoelstra's ear more than people think, and Pat Riley is right up there with Phil Jackson and
okay. Then
Greg Popovich is a very good coach.
It's not. Well, wait. Hold on, guys. It's not the same. I'm gonna tell you why. It's two totally different things. Phil Jackson came in. He was I said LeBron. He was MJ's coach. He literally took the ball in his hands and made probably the most monumental offense in sports history.
Oh, I agree.
In the triangle offense. Yep. He literally set the whole blueprint. When it comes to LeBron, all he needed was that angel on his shoulder to whisper in his ear to tell him, LeBron, you're literally the man. All you gotta do is take it. Nobody put no type of blueprint out for this guy. What they did, they just let him know who he knew he already was. He was just too scared to bring it out at that moment. But as soon as he got that Dwayne Wade telling him, hey, bro, you the man. I'm going to take the back seat. Just do what you got to do. Nobody told him how to do it. You just do what you got to do. And he kept doing what he was already doing in Cleveland. He just stepped up the mentality part, which Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant had. As soon as he got that killer mentality, it was over with. I can't say nobody made LeBron. You said what?
I said, and Dwayne Wade was able to teach it to him because Dwayne Wade had that killer instinct.
He had it, exactly. But I can't say nobody made LeBron. I can't say that. He would eventually would have got it anyway. He just wasn't a guy that soon.
I just don't agree with Phil Jackson made Michael Jordan.
I'm not saying he made Michael Jordan.
I'll agree with this point. Eric Spoelstra is a damn good coach. He is not Phil Jackson.
No, I'm not saying he is Phil Jackson, but there's a coach. There's a philosophy that you buy into. If we're going off of coaches and they get the stepping stone, they give the base to the players. There is a stepping stone. There is something that you have to buy into. A program that you have to buy into. That you see that works. That
LeBron is the program.
Exactly.
LeBron is not the program. If LeBron was a program, he would have more than 4 championships.
I can't agree to that.
Has he won everywhere he's gone?
Why?
Has he won everywhere he's gone?
Why can't you do that?
LeBron made Spoelstra.
No, he didn't.
Answer the question.
LeBron made Spoelstra.
No way. No way.
Okay, so y'all gonna tell me this. Michael Jordan was nothing until Phil Jackson touched that team.
Correct.
You're gonna tell me Eric Spoelstra, he's a good coach, don't get me wrong. But it's just like Steve Kerr, bro. It's just like Steve Kerr. When you get these guys that are amazing, no matter who coached them, they're gonna win. It's just like the guy now for the Lakers. What's his name, bro?
Frank Vogel.
That coach.
Vogel.
Vogel. What? Who?
What? No. You can't say that because Vogel did a very good job in Indiana.
I didn't say he did do a good job, but what I am saying is, people like Spoelstra, bro. When you got D-Wade, Bosh, and LeBron, there's no way you're going to lose. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, but that's not what made Spoelstra. Like, that's okay. One thing looking inside, me following.
So did Pat Riley make Dwayne Wade?
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Pat
Riley made Dwayne Wade. He gave him that base that he needed.
Let me say this.
I can't say that.
Know,
I feel like
I don't know if you could say that Pat Riley made Dwayne Wade.
Why?
What you can say though.
Why did Dwayne? Dwayne Wade win a championship without Pat Riley?
Hold on.
Nope.
I'm getting to this point. You might not be able to say that Pat Riley made Dwayne Wade, but what you can say is that the veterans that were on that team when Dwayne Wade won a championship made Dwayne Wade. What people don't realize is Dwayne Wade's team, when they won the championship, they had Alonzo Mourning, they had Shaquille O'Neal, they had Antonio Walker, they had Gary Payton. They had all these guys that were already successful in their careers that were looking for a chip.
I can't even believe you threw Antonio Walker in there, but go ahead.
Oh, Antoine Walker.
Yeah,
Antoine Walker.
He's a veteran, but
how to play his name with the other names you dropped.
Antoine Walker's a 40% 3-point shooter, and he plays defense.
That's great.
He does his job.
But see, Wade Wade made himself too. The reason I said
Wade didn't make himself. What it was Wade was a guy who could score and he played defense. Wade was one of these two-way guys that nobody talks about. And when they say top 5 best shooting guards of all time, he somehow gets discredited by it and he won't get put on that list. I don't know why, because Dwayne Wade won a championship without LeBron James. But Dwayne Wade was built by the veterans on that team, and yes, you could throw in Pat Riley. Do I think Pat Riley played a very big part in them winning that championship? Yes, because Pat Riley brought in veterans and Pat Riley coached him the way that he needed to be coached to become the player that he was. Not only that, Dwayne Wade was a dog at Marquette. I've been watching Dwayne Wade since he was a freshman at Marquette. Okay, but there's a difference when it comes to you saying Spoelstra was made because of this big three. Spoelstra may have had a little bit more success in his career because of this big three, but Spoelstra was a video guy. He worked in the film room. He was with Pat Riley all the time. He was with Pat Riley all the time. That's like saying he was made because of the players and Riley did nothing. I think Riley had a bigger part on Spoelstra turning into the coach that he is because of Riley. And then when you talk about Steve Kerr, this point pisses me off the most. Steve Kerr shouldn't even get any single credit for them winning any championships because that was Mark Jackson, and then he got pushed to the side on some bullshit.
I mean, that's facts. That's why.
I'm going to say answer one question.
I'm going to say Eric Spoelstra.
Answer one question. Has LeBron won on every team he's ever been on?
Yes.
Okay.
We say championships.
Championships.
We just talking about winning in general, right?
He won in Cleveland. He won a championship in Cleveland, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he won in Miami.
Yeah.
And now he's won in LA.
Yeah.
And it wasn't with the same coaches.
No, he's never been blessed with a Hall of Fame coach.
So, please explain to me how LeBron isn't the winning culture.
He's a dominant player. I just don't. It's 4 out of 10 championships doesn't look at me as a winning culture.
History. There's 2 guys in sports history that you can say with 100% certainty they are the reason their team wins games.
They win games. But the end all be all, it's not about just winning games. It's about winning chips.
LeBron, okay,
but they both won championships everywhere they've been.
LeBron, he's won on every single team, but he's still 4 for 10 in finals history in his career.
The man is 4 for 10 without a legitimate coach ever. This man self-made himself.
No.
He was smart.
You can't say he was not a legitimate coach.
What legitimate coaches LeBron had? Please name
Eric Spoelstra.
Come on. How can you name a coach at that time that was a baby? Who in 2012 counted Spoelstra as a legitimate coach? He was a baby.
Okay, and
no one knew who Spoelstra was.
And who since 1922, just random number here, has been the GM, the head coach, and the star player on their basketball team. Because LeBron gets his coaches fired. And then once these young guys who don't even know what they're doing.
And that's a testament to LeBron because LeBron.
No, that's just them feeding into him. That's like, okay, LeBron, let's keep you happy. And yes, LeBron has won in every single place that he's gone. But guess what? The first term in Cleveland, he didn't win.
LeBron was smart
And
enough
he
to
had-
know. LeBron was smart enough to know, bro. I don't have the coaches. My team is trash. My owner is trash. The person under him is trash. The coach is trash. The assistants are trash. Everybody is trash. I have to do everything myself. I'm gonna be the coach, the damn GM. I'm gonna be the star, everything. And he made that happen when no
what
other player could.
All-Star played on that original Cleveland roster. And if there was another All-Star, explain to me, was he an All-Star before LeBron got there? Because he probably wasn't, because LeBron probably made somebody else an All-Star.
Was it Virgil, Pubi Gibson? I mean, we can name all these trash players.
I'm pretty sure Ugalskis was actually an All-Star. And Mo Williams might have also been an All-Star. But he also played with Shaquille O'Neal in the first term. And
oh, come on.
What? I mean, he was there. I mean, it's not the same Shaquille O'Neal, but he was there.
Man, you can get the fuck out of here with that.
Look, I'm just,
right,
I'm just saying, you can't sit here.
Listen. Listen. Okay, so okay, we're saying, oh yeah, he's won with every team. He brought a trashy team. Cleveland Cavaliers to the finals, whatever. What was their record that year? Can anyone tell me?
It was amazing. I don't know what it was though, but it was amazing.
Yes. I believe they had 50.
He every year he was with Cleveland.
53 wins.
That was like the number one seed in the East or something. Like they always had the best record.
Let's see. Let's look it up. Let's look it up.
I want to
say he came into the league what 03?
Correct.
Yeah. That may have been the worst year as far as
that was
his
his worst year.
Okay,
I think
35
after that it was over.
Points.
Yeah,
but he was also a rookie.
Okay. The year that they went to the finals was what? Was the
2007.
2007,
yeah.
2050 and 32. This is who they played first round. The first round was the Wizards. Second round was the Nets. Third round was a good team. Was the Pistons. And then the what do you call it? Then the Spurs. Wasn't gonna win that. Had no chance. Okay.
No.
But you're gonna tell me that that was a dominant East.
No.
I'm gonna tell you. It was a dominant East, but
it was a dominant East.
But it was LeBron versus the whole team.
But
I will say
you
that.
guys were saying that he should have won a title.
So tell me that Wizards lineup that year.
But he was supposed to beat Duncan and Robinson.
No. He wasn't going to beat that team. No. There's no way he's going to beat that team. That can take it out. So 2007 Wizards roster, right?
But you're holding that finals loss against him.
We're going to hold that finals loss against him. Yeah, because he's carrying the team this and that, carry him over the hump.
No, you can't.
You're sitting here and everyone's sitting here and they're saying, well, LeBron got his coaches fired and he went and got people that he wanted. He was a GM and all this and all that. But,
I didn't say that. You're actually the only person who said that.
But what I'm saying is that's what I'm saying because that's what Jordan or that's what LeBron does. And you guys are agreeing that that's what LeBron is. He could do all of this. But guess what? Jordan didn't like Phil Jackson when he first walked through the door. He didn't say, Phil, get out.
He couldn't.
He could.
I mean, he could have.
He didn't have that pool. They did not give players that kind of pool back.
You're crazy. That was the 90s. No,
you're crazy because if Michael Jordan would have walked in that office and said, I'm not playing for Phil Jackson, I'm demanding a trade right now, I bet you Phil Jackson would have got fired.
Well, any star player says that.
So let's look at. I just looked at these rosters, okay? Because it was such an amazing feat, Okay, this was the Wizards roster, okay? And I already know you guys are gonna say that's a good roster. It was Gilbert Arenas, Andre Blatch, Calvin Booth, Caron Butler, Antonio Daniels, Mike Hall, Jarvis Hayes, Brendan Hayward, Antoine Jameson, James Lang, Roger Mason, Michael Ruffin, Darius Sangala, Deshaun Stevenson, Donnell Taylor, and Ethan Thomas. Wow.
It was a barely above average.
Bro.
Great. Okay. But listen.
The Wizards were the worst team in the playoffs that year.
Let me finish both rounds. I'm even going to go to Detroit because Detroit had a great team.
Detroit was good.
Detroit was good. I'm going to go over the Nets. Hassan Adams.
They had Jason
Josh
Kidd,
Boone,
right? That's about it.
Vince Carter, Jason Collins, Eddie House, Mila Illick, Richard Jefferson, Jason Kidd, Nenad Kristic, Was it?
That was a good
Ward,
team.
Bosh and
That's not a good team to you?
It's a good team. That's not a good team.
That was a good team.
Carter and Jason Kidd aren't 2 Hall of Famers.
It
Jason
doesn't
Kidd,
matter if
Vince
they're 2 Hall
Carter,
of
and
Famers. That's
Richard
not a good
Jefferson.
team.
That was a good
That's
squad.
not a good team.
That was a good.
The only thing I could say to that is that team actually went to the finals.
That was a good squad.
That's great. Yeah, and a fluke.
Nah, it wasn't no fluke. They went like back to back.
They went back to back. Did they win?
No.
I think they got swept.
They were good. It was the Lakers we talking
okay,
about.
now it's the Lakers.
Phil Jackson.
Come on.
Bro, listen. Look. This is what I'm gonna tell y'all, man. This is what I'm gonna tell y'all. I know this debate could go all night. This is what I'm gonna tell y'all. LeBron James, bro. First of all, that year was very big for him anyway because he was still a baby as far as in the league, already carried the team to the finals. Michael Jordan or Kobe ain't do that. So we can go ahead and say that off the cuff. Look, neither one of them did that. And also, I'm going to go ahead and say this. I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. I don't know of any player that has carried teams on his back.
So was Mike Brown a good coach? Was Mike Brown a good coach or no?
No.
No.
He got coach of the year, but he wasn't a good coach?
No.
Bro, look, LeBron,
I'm just asking you. Was he good?
No.
Mike Brown was a good coach, but a coach of the year?
No. That's why soon after he was gone, like they just had an amazing year because LeBron was just going retarded. So they
that's
gave
the
him
reason.
coach
That's
of
the
the
reason he
year.
got coach of the year was because LeBron went crazy.
Literally,
Yes,
LeBron.
The year before they had a horrible record, and LeBron carried them to 50 wins. So you get coach of the year because you had the most improved record in the NBA.
Exactly. That's a fact, man.
They were 45 and 37 the year before. They were 66 and 16 the year after.
What was it? Was 66 and what?
16
Good
with Mike
grief.
Brown as coach.
Is that not one of the best records of all time?
Yeah, that's close.
Because there ain't many 70-win teams in NBA history.
Yeah, and that
they
team
played-
was trash. 66 wins. Well, because Mike Brown was coaching. That was because LeBron was on that floor, bro. And like I said, Michael Jordan or Kobe, I ain't gonna lie. I don't think they could carry teams the way LeBron did.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
That's me saying it.
Well, Kobe never had to early in his career
I don't think
because he
they could,
came in with
period.
Shaq. He came in, Shaq was already there.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Kobe or MJ couldn't.
Michael didn't because he didn't get it out of the first round until he got Scotty. So it's not that I don't think they couldn't have done it. I know they couldn't do it because I watched them not do it.
Yep. And even later on in their careers, they couldn't do it. I'm telling you, y'all, they could not do it because basketball is more than just scoring the ball. And LeBron has mastered that. He's a more complete MJ's the GOAT, but he is a way more complete basketball player than both of those guys.
All right. Yeah, well, I can kind of agree with that, but what's our debate?
It's about who's the GOAT. We got to give it to MJ, but
I think we determined that already.
If LeBron wins 2 more championships though, which I don't think he will do. I really don't think he would do that. But if he was to win 2 more championships,
maybe this year, but after that, I don't know.
I still don't give him the GOAT status because that he'll go what? He'll go 6 for 12, a 50% record in the finals.
That's literally the only thing you can hold against that man.
Yeah, but that's the biggest thing. No,
it is.
Like that's the deciding factor. Yes, he has great individual athletes. He's one of the greatest scorers of all time. He passed Michael Jordan. He's a better passer than Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? He's going to, and also he played a lot longer than Michael Jordan, but he is going to not be the GOAT because of that blemish of you're gonna go 6-12. You're gonna have a 50% chance to win a championship.
Is he a lock for number 2 then?
Absolutely.
We can all agree to that.
I don't think there's anybody.
There's no debate.
Challenging him for the number 2.
There's no debate.
Is Kobe even 3
for the GOATs?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, who would you put above him?
Ooh.
Are there players that I would rather have than Kobe Bryant?
It's not who you rather have. It's just a statement. Who could you put above Kobe Bryant for number 3, GOAT status?
I would definitely put Tim Duncan GOAT status over him.
You put Tim Duncan GOAT status
Yeah.
over Kobe.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
hold on.
I probably would put Kareem too.
I didn't want to bring this up because it happened early on in the show.
But wait. I can't put Kareem. I can't put Duncan because the teams Duncan had around him and the teams that Kareem had around him. If we want to go there, if we're still taking the aspect of teams,
it's hard. Yeah, it's hard when you're putting the teams around.
Yeah, but three of Kobe's championships, over half of his championships were with Shaq.
Yeah,
you know, coming that made a difference. He's not winning. He's not winning 5.
Yeah, no. I'm not saying that doesn't make a difference. But if you look at Kareem's team, of who he played with, he literally played.
No. Kareem's a different story.
With 8 Hall of Famers. And then, Tim Duncan played with at least 6 to 7 Hall of Famers.
But I mean, are we really considering who people played with when we're talking about what they did? Because the special thing about it is you played with all them people, but look at still what you did as a player.
No, I wasn't gonna. But we're bringing it into effect of the LeBron and Jordan talk a little bit. Of even coaches too, we're bringing into effect.
I didn't want to bring this up because it happened on early in the show, and it was, I don't know who mentioned it. But somebody said that you can't put Kobe in this conversation because he couldn't pass Jordan and he was a miniature Jordan.
I think we all said that.
That's not exactly what was said. I called him miniature Jordan, but I never said
that was a different part. That was a different part. I know what part that is. Something was said where Jordan and Kobe tried to be like Jordan and he wasn't as close and yada yada yada.
I said that.
All right. Well, that comment is kind of. I mean, you kind of have to throw it out the window. Yes, Kobe wanted to be Jordan. Yes, Kobe mimicked Jordan. But Kobe also did exactly what Jordan did. Kobe was 5-1 in the finals. Kobe was 5-1 in the finals. When a shot was needed, Kobe could hit it. Not only that, Kobe, we keep talking about how LeBron's third all time in scoring. Kobe passed Jordan doing the same move Jordan did. If anything, Kobe learned how to be exactly like Jordan.
20 seasons.
Yeah, he played so much longer. And he barely passed him.
And it barely passed him. And this man took a 2-year break in the middle of him being the greatest.
Yeah, but
in his prime years.
Are we considering
he lost 2 prime years?
Are we considering that Kobe, I'm pretty sure, missed 2 seasons towards the end of his career?
Are we considering that Kobe played with Shaq, which is the best teammate of any of these guys?
I mean, he's
the best.
That makes so Kobe played with Shaq, and Kobe barely passed Jordan.
Where is Shaq in the debate of GOATs?
Yeah,
it should be.
But as far as like top 10 GOATs, but I mean,
where would you place him? Where would you place Shaq in the GOAT status?
So here's the problem. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why Shaq gets overlooked in the GOAT conversation. Because he doesn't have the longevity of any of the guys we just talked about.
Yeah, I mean, I think he decided not to have the longevity.
Shaq only has.
Yeah, it was definitely by choice.
I think he went in. He's like, I went in. I'm going to win. I'm going to get out.
Shaq to me is probably like.
It's not. No, you guys are missing the fucking point, bro. It's not 10? Total career longevity. It's longevity as the most dominant player. And at Shaq's size, that was never going to be long.
Yeah, Shaq wasn't dominant that long.
So Shaq's dominant period
Shaq
was
played from '94 until like 2010.
Yeah, and he was dominant from '94 to 2004, something like that.
Nah, 2004.
That's a long ass span.
Yeah, he had a long span though.
Dominant for that long, guys.
He was. He was dominant until he left LA.
94 to 04.
He left LA in like 04, 03 or something like that.
Yeah.
He was definitely dominant that whole time, bro. But it wasn't.
But wait, he was dominant and he was wait, hold on. He was still dominant in Miami. He was still dominant in Miami.
He was still good.
He was not dominant in Miami.
He wasn't dominant. Do you think Dwayne Wade would have won the championship without Shaq?
I mean, Dwayne Wade averaged almost 50 points a game that series.
I don't care.
He won the finals singularly by himself. But
I don't care. I don't care if he averaged 50 points a game. LeBron James could average 50 points a game, but he's not winning championship by himself. It proved in Cleveland.
I
So when I'm
mean,
talking dominant, I'm talking as you could say best player on the planet.
Shaq was the best player on the planet.
when he won MVP, he
for
was.
6 to 7 years.
Yes, Shaq was the best player on the planet. If I was
Yeah.
gonna start a team, it was a big man's game when Shaq was in the league. I'm gonna stop my fucking franchise.
Shaq was not the best player in the planet. What? What?
I don't even.
No,
I'm a.
none of y'all are
Alright.
fucking listening.
Like
Let me
Shaq
finish
came
the
in.
fucking sentence. Shaq was the most dominant player on the planet for 6 to 7 years.
Yes, I agree with you.
That's the shortest span of any of the three guys you just named.
No, yeah, okay, yes, I agree with you. I agree.
Where did these years start? He started being the most dominant player.
Literally, I'm gonna say when he got to Orlando, when he was in Orlando, and on.
So you're telling me the Michael Jordan era?
He was one of the most dominant. Yeah, he was one of the most dominant players. Yes.
But he wasn't the most
Oh,
dominant.
now we're
okay,
saying one of the most.
okay. Yes, you're right. He was.
That's
he
what you're
wasn't the
misconstruing.
dominant.
I'm not saying
He's not the
saying
dominant.
one of the most. I mean, your reign as when you looked at the league and people said you're the best player in the league.
Okay.
Because
Yes. Okay.
Still
Okay.
playing
Like one season
in the league.
Okay. I'll give it to you there. I'll give it to you there. Yeah. Yes.
04-05 rolled around and LeBron was the best player in the league. And at some time before that, according to most people, Kobe was the best player in the league.
All right. When Shaq was on the okay, I'm gonna say this. When Shaq was on the Lakers, he was the best player in the planet.
Absolutely.
I have a question.
But because his was shorter, he gets overlooked. But even though it was shorter, the only person whose time period you could say was maybe more dominant than his was Wilt. And who was Wilt playing? Nobody.
I have a question.
Shoot.
All right, so I am a Shaq fan. He's one of my favorite players of all time. But is Shaq even the best center of the 90s?
No.
Who was?
Hakeem.
I was just about to say, why isn't Hakeem talked about the same way Shaq is? I mean,
because he wasn't as dominant as Shaq.
He beat Shaq in the finals.
He had a better career. Probably had a better career than Shaq. You ask me.
Yeah,
Hakeem had a better team than Shaq.
But
if you compare them,
if you take Shaq 6 to 7 years where he was the best player in the league, there was no player statistically more dominant through a 6 or 7 year stretch than Shaquille O'Neal. Other than Wilt Chamberlain, and again, he played a bunch of fucking nobody.
Explain that to me again, though. You said so. You're saying that Shaq was the most dominant player in the league for 6 to 7 years.
I think Shaq's reign as number one player in the league, because all the guys we're talking about had a reign of this is the best guy in basketball, correct? Or we wouldn't be talking. Shaq's reign was shorter than all of theirs, but it was by far the most dominant.
Yeah, but does Shaq have?
Nobody could even remotely slow Shaq down for 6 to 7 years.
But does Shaq have the best player in the league?
Shaq was the best player in the league. You know what guy we've been talking about all night that you can argue had a bunch of years where he wasn't? Is Kobe.
But what years was Shaq really the most dominant player in the league? Like
that's what I'm trying to
like the number one. Like, look, like I said, I am the biggest Shaq fan you'll ever meet, but I don't know if Shaq was the best player in the NBA ever in his career.
No, he was.
Who was better than he was on the Lakers?
Who was better than? Hello, Allen Iverson took the Sixers, who had a bunch of FedEx boys were playing with him.
No, well, hold on.
You're trying to tell me Allen Iverson was a better. You would have taken Allen Iverson over Shaq.
Yes, and Allen Iverson played through every injury.
Dude, for those 6 or 7 years, you would not have taken Allen Iverson over Shaq.
6 or 7 years. When did these years start?
I'm just okay. So
how many times are you gonna say when he went to the fucking Lakers?
He went to the Lakers in like what 96 or 7 or something. 90, like that?
I believe it was 97.
That man, Shaq was not truly considered dominant until he really won the MVP in like year 2000, 2001, bro. He was the best player then, and he may have been maybe the year after.
Shaq was dominant, but this overlapping period of Shaq being dominant is filled with Jordan, LeBron. I mean, Iverson was very dominant.
He was not more dominant. Well,
it's hard to say dominant for a 6'1" guy.
Were there people that slowed Allen Iverson down?
He's a better player than.
Shaq left Orlando in '95. Okay, he started playing with the Lakers in '96. On Atlanta Magic, he averaged his first year he averaged 23. Second year 29. 29 his third year, 26 his fourth year, and 26 his fifth year. And then he left. Okay. And then when the span of the Lakers was from 96 to 2003. He averaged 26, 28, 26, 29, 28, 27, 27, 21, 20, 21. Then he went to Miami. So I mean,
definitely a hell of a player.
You know,
that's a hell of a player.
He definitely was. He was. I mean, he took the Magic to a finals.
He did.
He took the Magic
to
a finals.
He was dominant. There was nobody that slowed him down.
He definitely took the year. He took the Magic to a finals. And I believe that was around when did Jordan leave for baseball?
It was the year Jordan wasn't there.
He left in 94, 95 season when he was gone. That's when
94, 95. So Shaq was the most dominant player, I believe, in the league those years.
Was he the most dominant in 94, 95? Because Akeem put him on a fucking...
Yeah, because we talked about the finals when it counts. And
Akeem won that finals.
I agree with that. It's just, you mean, it's that veteran, kind of thing. It's just, but it's, you can't say that Shaq wasn't dominant. Like,
I'm not saying he wasn't dominant. I just don't know if I could say he was the best player in the league at any time. You're throwing stats out there about the way he was scoring. Iverson was scoring like 34 points a game.
That's dominant, though. That's dominant. That's dominant. I'm gonna throw. Okay, I'll throw other stats out there. You want me to throw rebounds out there? You want me to throw?
No, because I understand.
No, I know what he did.
I understand in the finals he was averaging like 28, 20, and 5 blocks. I understand what he was doing.
Yeah. And who was he doing it on?
I don't.
There honestly weren't that many good big men.
I don't remember who they played in 2000 or 2001. They played against Mutombo.
There wasn't no good big man like talking about.
And
what do you mean he didn't have to play Duncan and Robinson a bunch of times?
He did.
I'm just forgetting. I'm not remembering that correctly.
He did, but I mean that's one duo. That's one duo.
They're not both Hall of Fame big men.
They are,
but that's one duo. He still would average that. I mean,
greatest power forward of all time.
He probably played them twice a year.
Okay, over his Lakers span and his Orlando span, he averaged 27 points in his career with both those teams. All right. He averaged, let's see, what rebounds? I'm gonna say, let's see, about 13 rebounds per game. Yep.
He was the best big man for sure, most dominant big man for sure.
Yeah.
For that span.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm trying to say.
The years that they won the championship with the Lakers, he was the best. He was. I feel like he was probably
the best player on the planet.
Best player on the planet. There was no one that could stop him.
When you look at Kobe, I think he had some years where he was, but there was also years Duncan was the best on the planet.
Yeah, I feel like there's always the moments where they took the run and they won the championships. That's when they were the best players on the planet. But all in all, the GOAT, the best player ever on the planet was Michael Jordan.
Yep.
Because every year he played, pretty much, other than let's call like maybe his rookie season, take that out, take LeBron's rookie season out because you're a freaking rookie. That it is what it is. I don't care who you are. You're not going to dominate the NBA. you don't got the body to dominate the NBA.
Well, no. I think LeBron and MJ both dominated the NBA when they came in.
No, I think LeBron's first year he only had like 16 points a game.
Which
for a rookie is fantastic. But
well, I mean, it's the key factor of like that's why they're both in the both of them are in the GOAT talk. It's because when they first step into the league, it's like, all right, yeah, he's a rookie, but the key is to stop this man.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm trying to say is the reason why they're widely considered the only two that people talk about as the GOAT is because when they were playing, pretty much for their entire careers, they were the best player on the planet. And it wasn't a question. There was no other guy you could look at and say, well, he was better than him. Because he wasn't. There was nobody. When Shaq did it, you guys just questioned it. I'll put question marks on Kobe the whole way through his career.
I mean,
because in Kobe's career, once LeBron came on this, he no longer had a shot at being the best player on the planet.
Who are our top 10, or let's say who's our top 5
players of all time?
Yes, it's not about being the GOAT category. Like, of all time, doesn't matter position, doesn't matter whatever. It's just, you know what I mean. Just the GOAT talk. Who is the top 5 people that we have in order?
Jordan and LeBron is 1, 2. And then, I mean, honestly, before that, the way I would do it is who was the GOAT before Jordan was the GOAT? Was it Russell? Was it Kareem? Was it Magic? Was it Wilt?
That's yeah. I don't know. That's the thing.
Because if you're talking greatest, then after greatest of all time, you'd have to go greatest of the era. So who was the GOAT before Jordan was the GOAT? Well, it was Kareem. And who was the GOAT before he was the GOAT? Could
you put Larry Bird in that?
I was just about to ask about Larry Bird.
Not top 5.
Larry Bird was the second best player then. Kareem was better than him.
Taste is not top 5.
I don't got top 5.
I can't put him in a top 5 GOAT conversation because I don't know. Would you have put on most of those seasons? Would you have put Larry Bird as the best player in the league above Kareem? Because I don't think he would have. So how can I call the man the GOAT?
I don't know. I think
a big Larry Bird fan. I love the shit talking white guy from the Boston Celtics.
Oh, he was great.
He was amazing, but you're not going to talk about him as a GOAT conversation when Kareem ruled that era.
So I think we come down to a decision. I think all in all, I think in unanimous decision, we think Michael Jordan is the GOAT.
Yep, we all agree on that. Yep, we all agree on that. So, but it was cool though, still having the debates on the different, subjects and stuff and different things when it comes to these players. Because I mean, there's a lot on these players that that needs to be highlighted. So, and there was some stuff that some players did do better than other ones. Some people, of course, all of them had different journeys. So, and like you all said, they're all 3 different eras. So, I mean, what LeBron kind of dabbled into Kobe's era some, but they all was 3 different eras, for the most part.
Yeah, but, I feel like it was 3 different eras but I get what you're saying. They did dive in, like,
yeah,
it was like a passing of the torch. Like it was like, here's Jordan, we're passing it to Kobe, and then Kobe passed it to LeBron.
I don't think Kobe passed that. Like, I'm gonna put it out there. Kobe didn't pass it to LeBron.
Kobe didn't. Kobe never had it.
Yeah.
Kobe never had the torch.
I mean, he did.
Kobe had the torch.
How did he have the torch as the number 1 player when LeBron came in?
Kobe had the torch.
He was the definitive best player in basketball. There was nobody on his level.
So if you're
Tim
saying
Duncan was on the same exact level for all those years. Tim Duncan and him weren't on the same level for all those years. So that's what you're saying. You're saying Kobe had the torch.
So I'm guessing we're gonna say Kobe would have the torch in 2003 because you guys are saying Shaq had the torch in 2001.
Shaq definitely
Hey,
had the torch.
you know what?
I
You know what I really want to I want to transition. So I don't know if you guys are up for it. I want to transition to this Clash of Clans.
In 2000, okay, Kobe had the torch at some point. What people don't realize, Kobe was just scored 33 times in his career. He averaged.
What I'm trying to tell you is the reason why Michael had the torch was because when Michael played, there was nobody on Michael's level. Correct?
Yeah, but Kobe averaged 35.4 in 05 and 31.6 in 06.
Hey, pause real quick, Mike. I mean, this is what I'm saying. The thing is that I think we're kind of confused when Kobe actually got the torch. And actually when he passed the torch, if we can say he passed it, because LeBron definitely didn't get the torch in 03. LeBron didn't get that joint till later. I don't even think LeBron.
That's when LeBron was the best player on the planet.
No.
I think it was the year. I think the year that LeBron took Cleveland to the finals is the year LeBron got the torch. So what? 2007.
That's 07. So I would say Kobe had it between 03 and 06. I would probably go long enough to say, because remember, Kobe was still, he was winning titles in 2010 and all this too. So
yeah, but by that point, it wasn't the same Kobe.
Defaulting that, but you cannot tell me at any point in their careers that Kobe Bryant was definitively better than Tim Duncan.
He was. He was. There were certain seasons where Kobe was a better player than Tim Duncan.
Yeah, and there were certain seasons Duncan was a better player than Kobe.
Yes.
Which is what I'm trying to say. Neither one of them had the torch. Nobody had the torch then because both of them were at the same level. There was not one guy at the level.
Yeah, but when you're averaging 30 points a game.
Okay, and Duncan was dropping 25 with 10 to 12 boards?
Yeah, but you're talking about 31.4 and then 35.4 in back-to-back seasons.
And how many other stats did he have?
I don't know. He's a 13-time defensive player or defensive all first team or whatever Tay said from the beginning. So it's not like he wasn't playing defense either.
12-time all defense. He had more than than LeBron and Jordan, and he won MVP of the league in 07-08. That's what I'm telling y'all. There's no way he won MVP in 07-08 and he still wasn't the best player. That's why I say I gotta go back probably to.
Okay, so this is this is misleading about this whole conversation with Kobe. Kobe's average is 25, 5, and 5 in his career. This whole Kobe doesn't pass the ball. 25, 5, and 5.
5 assists as a ball dominant guard.
I'm not saying it's not a ball dominant guard, but
that's top level assist work.
That's not his job. He's a two guard. He's not a point guard.
But he played like a point guard because the ball was never out of his hands ever.
I mean, he had high usage, very high usage.
Michael Jordan.
When you have the highest percentage of ball dominance on your team, and you're only averaging 5 assists, you're not a good passer.
Let's be clear.
Michael Jordan averaged 0.6 more assists a game in his career.
And I didn't say Jordan was a good passer either, did I?
But let's be clear. It's kind of bad. It's kind of hard to criticize Kobe's passing. He did have Smush Parker throughout those years. Kobe did not have anybody. So let's be clear about that. After Shaq left, it was over with. Kobe was literally the only guy on the team. He had nobody.
I mean, Kobe probably has a higher passing. Kobe probably has a higher assist rate than.
I'm not talking about Kobe's stats. I'm trying to say, and this is what happens all the damn time with that era. Tim Duncan is the most overlooked player in NBA history. For you to try and sit there and tell me
it's unfair
Tim Duncan did not play at the same level as Kobe Bryant through their primes, I don't know what y'all were smoking, but apparently you just don't like the big man.
I never said that Tim wasn't playing towards the same level. See,
But if they're both playing at the same level, then nobody's got the torch.
I don't know if he was. I don't know if he was at the same level 100%, but even if you say he was, like that still doesn't mean he has a torch. See, the torch isn't just about if you're playing at the same level.
No,
It's a little
about being the best player. But if you're not
right.
actively the best player for a multi-year basis, you never had the torch.
But he was considered the best player. See, we can't just talk about our opinions. We got to talk about how he was viewed from the league or most fans. You know what I'm saying?
And
Or
again,
most
and I think
people
most
in
fans
NBA.
are and I think most NBA fans are too stupid to realize how good Tim Duncan was.
I don't think no one denies how good Tim Duncan. That's why everyone says he's the best power forward to ever live. No, so Tim Duncan gets high praise, very high praise. But during those years that Kobe dominated, I mean, how can you really say that Kobe didn't have the torch? Because no one can ever say for sure. I know no one can ever say Tim Duncan had a torch. We know that wasn't the case. There's only a few people that was generational talents that you can actually say had the torch. But Tim Duncan was the greatest power forward to do it. But when you talk about having a torch, only specific players that was looked at in a certain way can be considered having a torch. And I feel like Kobe Bryant just carried that torch from Jordan. Because, I mean, who else would you call in the 2000s to even say, yeah, they carried the torch to be the best player in the world?
The only other person that sticks clearly in my mind because it was, I want to be like Mike, and then it was everyone wanted to be like Iverson.
Exactly. Iverson probably would be the next one under Kobe,
Iverson changed the game.
I mean, Tim Duncan has always just been the greatest power forward, but just I don't know.
So
man.
Tim Duncan being a 15-time All-Star, 5-time NBA champion, 15-time All-NBA, 15-time All-Defense, All-Rookie, Rookie of the Year, 2-time MVP, 3 times Final MVP, averaging 19 points and almost just shy of 11 boards and 3 assists for his career. That's not on par with Kobe Bryant?
Not when we're saying a torch. But I'm not saying that his stats was he ever MVP, league MVP?
Yes, twice.
2 times. Okay, 2 times, yeah.
And so 3 finals MVP.
He actually won MVP of the year that Kobe averaged 35.4 points a game.
Which is very, very debatable.
And 2 other years that Kobe lost was because Steve Nash went back-to-back because he averaged 10 and 10. But that's what hurts me with the MVPs.
What year was
Well, he took them from Shaq.
What year was the 35?
The 35 was, unless it was the year he had 31, but it was a year that he averaged 30 plus. Let's see. Because I have to pull him back up because I put him down. The year he averaged 35 was in 2005.
And the Spurs won the chip that year. I'm pretty sure.
You said
I think that's when they beat the Nets.
Right?
Yes.
So that would be the year that Duncan averaged 20.3, 2.6 blocks a game, just under 3 assists a game, 11.1 boards a game, and Kobe had 35 points. That's great.
I mean, that mixed with the team success. I mean, yeah.
Duncan had, like I said, just over 20 points a game, 2.5 blocks, over 2.5 blocks a game, just shy of a steal a game, just shy of 3 assists a game, 11 team rebounds a game, 3 offensive rebounds a game. So that's 3 more possessions for your team. That was the split, 3.1 to 8.0 for his rebounds.
But guys, like, why are we talking as if other players aren't allowed to have greater seasons or just as great as one of these guys that had the torch? I mean, in '93, Charles Barkley won the MVP.
He was actually somebody the best, that I was going to mention.
He was probably
Duncan's
he was probably the best player in the league at that time. If you're talking about all around, I mean, his numbers might have been better than MJ's at that time. I'm not sure, but no one would ever say Charles Barkley had the torch because he was a beast for a few years.
He was never consistently year in, year out the best.
But Tim Duncan's never consistently been in and out the best.
But neither was Kobe because they switched back and forth. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's why I don't think either of them had the torch. Because to me, the torch is when one guy is above all of the rest and it's clear cut.
So you're telling me no one had the torch in the 2000s at all until LeBron came into the real LeBron?
Yes.
And the torch was just sitting there?
Pretty much.
Okay.
The way I view it. Because I don't view that on a year in, year out basis, I could not definitively tell you like, oh, for these 4 years of it, it was Duncan, and then for these 6 years of it, it was Kobe, because they weren't back-to-back years. It was like, oh, here Kobe was the best player this year, and then the next year Duncan turned it on, and the Spurs were ridiculous, and he was the best player in the league. That's the way I view it. I'm one of few because I'm one that, I don't know, I guess I appreciate Tim Duncan more than a lot of people.
No, like I said, I really appreciate. Like I said, everybody says he's the best power forward to ever do it, bro. I feel like he gets high praise, bro. And he was blessed with a good situation from day one.
I don't even know if he's the best power forward of all time.
Oh my gosh! Better, so who would be the better power forward than Tim Duncan, bro?
You take away the 5 rings. I mean, because of the teams he played on. I'm sorry, Charles Barkley has to be in this conversation. Really? Charles Barkley shouldn't be talking right now in the conversation with Tim Duncan? Take Tim Duncan off that Spurs team.
Man. You gotta go to bed, man. You're sleepy.
No.
You gotta end the podcast, man.
So is he better than Karl Malone?
Is who better than Karl Malone?
Charles Barkley?
Why isn't he?
Huh? Oh my God.
Why isn't he?
Okay.
How is he?
Matt, let me ask you a question. Charles Barkley, one of my favorite players ever. Not taking away from Charles Barkley, right? He was great. But the greatest power forwards to do it, tell me how Charles Barkley even remotely compares to Karl Malone or Tim Duncan. Even remotely. You have to tell me something. Bro. Concrete. It can't be just.
So Barkley's not in this conversation because he doesn't have rings? Is that it? And he wasn't
That's
in the
part
finals?
of. I mean, that has to be a part of it.
Like
neither does Karl Malone.
Does KG get discounted because he's only got one and he played with a shitty Timberwolves team?
He doesn't get discounted, but bro, it's just about.
We're not bringing him into this conversation.
Yo, he's not in this conversation.
Not even acknowledging.
Yeah, we all know he's not in the car. I think we all agree to that. But Karl Malone didn't win a chip either, bro. Karl Malone didn't win a chip.
So KG wasn't a better defensive player than Tim Duncan?
No.
How?
Did you not just tell you that Tim Duncan is a 15-time all-defensive NBA player?
And how many times did he win Defensive Player of the Year? I mean, Kevin Garnett has some too. Don't get me wrong, but
Kevin Garnett was a great player. I love Kevin Garnett. He's not Tim Duncan.
We all. But I'm just stuck on the Charles Barkley part.
We're talking about Tim Duncan that's on the Spurs, who's played with, everyone said it, 6 to 7 Hall of Famers. We're talking about Charles Barkley. We're talking about Karl Malone, and we're talking about Kevin Garnett. Besides that Celtics team, Kevin Garnett never had a real teammate. Charles Barkley carried every single team that he was on.
Hold on. Kevin Garnett, when they went to Timberwolves, they were expected to go to the finals many times.
They were the number 1 seed in the West. They were.
When Marbury and him were together, they were expected to go.
Yeah, like Stephen. You're talking about Stephon Marbury like he's some shitter.
Yeah, Stephon Marbury was a dog.
And his MVP season with Wally Zerbiak and those guys, they were beasting.
Yeah.
They were beasting. But I mean, like I said, bro, I'm just stuck on the Charles Barkley thing. Like, how can you put any power?
I like Charles Barkley just because he looks like my dad. But
here's the thing. I don't think Barkley's bad. I think Barkley's one of the best power forwards of all time too. I just don't think he's better than Tim Duncan, and I don't think it's that close.
He's one of the most underrated power forwards of all time.
Absolutely. I could make
Yeah, he's the
I
most
could make a
underrated.
decent argument. I can make the person you can make a better argument for is that he's. If you want to try and make me the argument that he's better than Karl Malone, I'll listen. But you're not going to tell me he's better than Duncan.
I'm not saying that he's better than Duncan. What I'm saying is, how is he not even in the conversation?
Same way
I mean,
Kobe's not in the conversation.
He's got to be in the conversation for top power forwards. Is that what you're asking? Like best
Correct.
power forwards?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of
absolutely
course.
in the conversation.
Of course. Yeah, he's in the conversation, bro. It's just that nobody is even close to Duncan. So when we say Duncan's the best power forward that ever did it, it's like nobody's even close to him. He's in his own lane.
Yeah, but when you look at Barkley's stats, he's not that far off of Duncan. If it wasn't for him being on the Spurs, it's not like they're almost identical players.
Bro, are you going to tell me that Tim Duncan is not the reason? Nobly.
I'm gonna tell you what.
he's breaking up on my end.
If you took
Yeah, I lost you
Duncan
for a second there, Rob.
if you took Tim Duncan and put him on a different team, I think that team would do great.
Yeah, he'll still have chips.
Absolutely.
Still have chips.
That's what I'm trying to say is, yeah, did he play with guys that will probably make the Hall of Fame and Tony Parker and Ginobili? Sure, he did.
That's not probably. That's definite.
Yeah, but he is part of the reason why they were so great.
He probably was the biggest reason.
His presence down low allowed them more space. Nobody could tell me otherwise.
Yeah, but Barkley averaged 22, pretty much 12, 4, 1.5, and 1 in his career.
Bro, but when we talk about careers of players, bro, like some stuff just ain't fair. You know, we all know Barkley didn't have the squad. We all know Tim Duncan was blessed to have the squad. So it's just hard. But when you put up your own personal stats the way that he did, even though he had those players, like,
but here's the thing,
he
Duncan had I'll agree that Duncan had a good squad, but Duncan had to beat great squads to get his rings. He had to beat Kobe.
Yeah, I'm not taking that away from him.
Yeah,
He had to beat what some people would call the best duo of all time.
Yeah.
In Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah, that's true.
And he did it with an aged Robinson, because Robinson was aged. That was the whole reason they got that pick, was because Robinson was old and he was starting to get injured. He got injured. That's how they got Tim Duncan.
All right, can I ask y'all a question, man? Then I'm gonna have to go, guys. But can we quickly name our top player then from all 5 positions?
Let's do that on a different show because Rob actually texted me and said that.
I texted it.
All right, we'll save that.
We'll
save that. We'll save that then.
I want everybody to build their number 1 starting lineup of history and explain why at each position.
All right. I'm down for that.
I'm definitely open to that option. It's funny you said that because Rob actually just texted me about 5 minutes ago asking if we could do something like that. I feel like that's going to be another one that's going to take like 4 hours like this one is. So I'd rather just try to do a podcast on its own.
That's why I texted you, because I knew this conversation was going to lead there.
Yeah. Definitely was on my mind. Okay. Well, listen, the whole I guess the big thing that we did get out is that MJ, to all 4 of us, is the GOAT.
For now.
Yeah.
I still like you guys
for
know
now.
it, since we all agreed on that.
Yep.
But all right, so let's shoot for next Saturday. We'll do a top 5 we'll do name your starting 5 of all time. Sound good? Give everybody a week.
Yeah, cannot wait. Yeah.
Joe, would you like to be a part of this? Jelly, would you like to be a part of this?
I haven't been catching his audio.
All right, Jelly's lost in the sauce. I'll end up messaging. Yes.
Can you hear me? All right. Yeah, I said if you want me on the show, I'm more than happy to be on.
All right, so you're going to be doing your top 5 of all time.
Oh, this is going to be good. Top 5 of all time.
That'll be real good.
So that's going to be next Saturday. Tay, Jill, appreciate you guys coming on. Danka, until probably tomorrow or Monday. Not sure what we're doing yet. We've been talking about doing a little bit of gaming content while we BS, so possibly tomorrow. I know Tay, we're up in the air on that because we're talking about doing some Warzone. So if you're able to go, maybe tomorrow night.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Warzone. You guys can carry me in Warzone.
All right, that sounds good.
Hey man, play some quads.
As long as everything's working on my end, we'll be looking at tomorrow night Warzone. Ask us anything you want.
How bad I am.
And all right, Philly Frenzy out.